Hello, everyone, and welcome to the next episode of the Gameacologists. I'm John, and I'm here with Kyle, and the master of masturbation, Matt, is joining
What
us as
the
well.
fuck?
I need a new alliterative
Yeah.
name for you on every episode. That one we were trying to work one out.
First of all, you can't do what Ed does, so stop. Stop trying.
I can. I can
No,
take it.
you
I'm
can't.
Carlos Menciaing it, making it my own.
Yeah, well, you're doing a very terrible job.
Master of Matitude.
That was great.
I said you're good at something and you got mad.
I'm not mad. I'm more shocked than anything.
Got him.
Like, goddamn, dude. Just tell the whole world I masturbate, okay?
Anybody who says they don't is lying.
I never said I didn't, but we don't need to go tell the world that.
I don't know. Want to run through the halls of my high school and shout it at the top of my lungs. So, what are we talking about today, fellas?
AAA versus indie games.
Versus India. Are we saying versus as in like one is going to defeat the other
Yes.
Yes.
In Mortal Kombat.
in Mortal Kombat? In
Yeah.
Immortal Kombat, you guys just fight forever. No life bar, no winners, just constant combat. So before we get into that, have you guys been playing anything interesting lately? Doing anything video game related?
I have been playing Death Stranding.
That's right. I got Matt to fucking download it finally. That was did you see what I was talking about when I was like the game is amazing, but it's really hard to to sell it to somebody with words. Like it's hard
Yeah.
to like I try to convince other people who haven't played it to play it, and it's very difficult to use words to tell people why that game is amazing.
Okay, maybe I can put it into words after experiencing it a little bit. And that is if you're into weird sci-fi things that are like the mind-bending type of genre of stuff, like Blade Runner, for example, or Ultra Carbine, if anyone's ever seen that show. Where what's a few other good sci-fi movies that like really mess with your perception of things? Inception.
Total Recall.
Total Recall. So if you're into things like that, this game is definitely in that field, and it does take a lot to understand. It's probably going to take multiple playthroughs to like really grasp what's going on. But if you're into that stuff, then yeah, go play it because it's really good, but it is really hard to explain and hard to get people into it. And the best way to do so, I think, is just use examples that people are familiar with.
There's a so I beat the game, and then there's an episode of a certain podcast that I'll link it to you when you're done with it. So instead of beating it, I felt like they did a really good job of helping me understand the things in it that I didn't understand.
Yeah, there's a lot going on in that game. There's all kinds of time shenanigans.
I have dusted off and rehooked up my NES. Been playing that, and I actually just before we started recording, I took it apart and boiled my 72 pin connector to try to reshape the pins because it grabs onto the game super hard. The thing works really good. I did that a while ago. Like I kind of refurbished it with this YouTube video by a guy named Green Bean tells you how to refurbish an NES and get it working. Like you put the game in, start it up, and bang, it just goes. And it did for a while, but that was years ago. The lockout chip is disabled, and the 72 pin connector is boiled, and I just gotta put it. I'm letting it dry right now. It's you can't see it; it's behind me. But
What does the lockout chip do?
the lockout chip basically so if you ever put a game in an NES and put it down, if it doesn't connect right, sometimes the power light will blink. And basically, I could be wrong about some of these facts, but basically what it is if the connection is bad, the NES might be reading it as a bootleg, and
Oh, okay.
that's what the blinking light is. So bypassing the lockout chip basically just gets rid of that, makes it a little bit easier to, make the connection. One less pain in the ass thing in the way. You could still totally use an NES with a lockout chip there, but mine's bypassed. By bypass, you take a metal piece and you go in and you fucking break a prong off of the chip. But if you're gonna do that, look at YouTube because it's a very specific little tiny metal piece amongst a bunch of other metal pieces, and you don't want to fuck that up. But yeah, I'm looking forward to getting back into. I was playing Rescue the Embassy Mission and DuckTales and Super C.
Ooh.
I don't have Contra, but I have the sequel Super C, which is still dope as fuck.
You call yourself a gamer?
It's expensive.
I know.
Actually, it's probably like $35, but depending on where you go.
Contra?
Yeah, it's not like super rare. there's two different types of rarity when it comes to like NES. There's games that they didn't make very many of, and then there's ones like Contra and Mario Brothers 3 that are pricier because if someone gets a hair up their butt about wanting to get an NES, they're going to want to
Right.
get the game that they remember. So like while there are millions of copies of Contra out there, it's sought after. It's one of the best games on the console and people want it.
Well, according to Google, at DK Oldies, it is $60.
Damn.
But that's including the box.
That's a company that a lot of people shit on with the box.
Yeah, and then on eBay, it's going for like $36.
A
On
lo-
Etsy, it's $30. So depending on where you go, yeah, it might range in price, but yeah, with the box, $60 isn't bad.
a lot of people shit on DK Oldies because their stuff is kind of pricey, or you could argue overpriced. But I think the reason for that is they have a whole company dedicated to gathering and restoring and cleaning and distributing old technology, and you got to make your okay. You got to make your overhead on that. But that
Yeah.
being said, I have never bought anything from them, and I probably never will because it's overpriced. I'm grateful that a company like that exists and is out there, but
I
it's just too expensive.
And in all honesty, if I have the money, I've never bought anything from them, but I would if I had, like I said, if I had the money, I would be okay with spending the money, even if it's like a little bit of market value, just because I've seen like a lot of like their videos and stuff and I know what they're about. It's like what you said. They go out, they restore all this stuff. And so what you're getting is near mint quality type stuff. They're not like fucking GameStop where like they just kind of eyeball, yeah, this is good. And they're like, they actually have quality control to what they do versus GameStop.
GameStop had a really funny, like when they started taking in retro games, the people weren't really trained on how to spot fakes, first of all, which there's multiple
Right.
things to look for. People make fakes with different imperfections. But also there was a story of someone took a they traded in a Chrono Trigger.
I
and
know
it,
what story this is.
it had like I think it was Madden 96
Hmm.
was the board that was in the game. And then not only that, so that got reported, and then they resold it to somebody else, and then it got reported again. So it's like,
Yeah.
Yes.
get it together, guys. I
Yeah,
sold them
white glove service.
I I'm not exactly free from guilt because I did sell them a NES copy of Double Dragon 2 that just didn't work. I don't know how to solder stuff, but I would just clean it and clean it and clean it and use an eraser and like try to polish it up, make it look as nice as I could. The fucking thing just wouldn't work. So I traded it to GameStop. Fuck them.
Yeah, fuck them.
Yeah.
So I know
So,
they're not gonna check. I mean, does that make me a bad person? Probably, but
But it makes them worse for not like
checking.
verifying.
Yeah.
now I should have. In hindsight, I should have. I've had
Sold more
cartridges.
shit to them.
No, I've had cartridges break, but the circuit boards inside the NES games are still fine, and I could swap cartridges and make it work that way. And I probably should have kept it, but whatever. That was years ago.
Nah.
Anyway,
Uh,
Kyle, what have you
you
been playing? Oh, sorry,
well, you're talking about DK Oldies, and I've actually bought some stuff from them.
you kind of look like the
Um,
guy in the videos.
Fuck you. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. But you said they're like overpriced or whatever was
That's
that
the
you said.
complaint, but they have to run a
Yeah.
business.
So of course, and I got this.
It's a
Need
little
for
glare.
Speed.
Midnight, Need for Speed,
Need for
Yeah,
Speed
Underground.
Midnight.
Underground. Yeah. No, it's Underground.
Oh, I thought
And this is all it has. Nothing, just the disc, right? And I guess
Yeah,
the cover.
does
not
the
bad.
disc
Well,
work?
I also got Underground 2.
They have a book but no disc.
No, I got the disc and the booklet, and they have options. Like you can get all of this for like this game specifically, I think was 18.
Hmm.
It ended in an 8. That's all I remember. And this is full manual. They didn't like rip pages out or nothing. But they have options where you can just get just the case and the disc, and it's cheaper. But if you want the manual and all the stuff, you're gonna have to pay a little extra. That's not on them.
That's pretty cool,
That's
Yeah,
actually
actually.
yeah, it's
that makes
great.
sense. That makes
And
perfect
and
sense.
and
So
this one, Underground 2, came, it wasn't factory sealed, but they sealed it themselves.
But it's like
So it's like
it's
they
cool
yeah,
having
kept
the
all the shit
manuals,
intact.
but it's not a
Yeah,
deal breaker if they don't have it.
of
Like,
course.
so they put Twisted Metal 3 and 4 and
Yeah.
on the PlayStation Plus, and I didn't. So I grabbed the fucking case off of my shelf, and pulled out the manual and was like, okay, how do you do the freeze blast again? And like,
Left,
honestly,
right,
because it's
up,
all,
right?
yeah, it's all right. I think that's for 4, but close enough.
Yeah.
But yeah. So instead of having to like pull out my phone and Google it, I could just I have the. But then it's also like, why didn't I just hook up my PS1 and fucking?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, then you couldn't get all the trophies in almost a single playthrough,
That's
like
true.
I did on 3.
Well,
One playthrough, I got 18 out of 21 trophies.
look at the gigantic nuts on Kyle.
I just did the 5 player or the 5 CPU deathmatch one when you were getting online.
Well, Kyle has a crippling addiction to Twisted
How
Metal.
about you shut the fuck up over
Yeah.
there?
Don't call out his bullshit.
Yeah, I'm gonna call out your bullshit. I don't know what it is, but I'll call it out.
We recorded 3 at 2:59. Matt sent me a message saying he's going to the store. But anyway.
Wow. Yeah. Piece of shit.
Wow, nitpicking over like 10 minutes.
Well, you're 11 minutes 34 seconds, but you're usually the guy who's like hurry up. But anyway,
Yeah, that's because
So,
usually I'm done with my shit,
yeah.
and then John's like, "Oh, wait a minute, I need to go to the store," and I wait like 15 minutes for this bitch.
I have a family.
He walks slower than you. He's fat.
Drive. I drive the same speed probably.
You drive your car in the store?
I pull like right up to the door.
Yeah, but you still have to walk around the store.
I don't go
Well, you
straight to
just
the. Oh well, yeah, okay. Depending on the circumstance.
yeah.
Let's go over to the front. Get me this stuff.
Yeah. But you asked what I've been playing, and I kind of went back to the DK Oldies thing. I played these when I got them, and they're not as good as I remembered.
But do
They're
they
not.
quality of the disc and the product itself
Oh,
come
they were
over
great.
there? It
They were
works
great.
fine.
Yeah, it
Okay.
works just fine. No
So,
issues at all. Like, let me look. Hold on.
You're the problem.
Yeah. There
Yeah.
is a scratch on 2 that I can see. It's kind of deep. It goes through like the whole middle of the disc, but
It's a love scratch.
it works fine. It works. It runs totally fine. But I've been playing it long enough to see if it's like fucks up at a certain point. And Underground 1 is like pristine for how old it is. It's beautiful.
yeah, like I said, like if DK Oldies, they have a lot of videos and they give you a lot of behind the scenes of what they do, so they give
Yeah.
you a really good idea of what they're about. So I say
And
that they're
they'll
worth the price.
Yeah, and they sent me an email. They're like, hey, if you want a chance to have your order recorded, comment on our latest YouTube video and with your order number, and we'll pick one at random. And whoever they pick, they like usually give a gift, like a free gift for whatever console they got or whatever, like a free game or something. They'll throw shit in
Yeah.
for free.
Yeah, but those orders are typically like someone gets a couple NES games and a Sega Genesis game and something that makes it
Well, people
interesting
get
to like.
consoles.
Yeah, it's something like they walk around their warehouse to gather all your shit. If you just got 2 Xbox, well, if they truly pick it at random, I guess you have a chance. But I would, if I was
Yeah,
picking which order to record and make a video out
yeah.
of, it
It
honestly would.
wouldn't be
Yeah, it would.
it wouldn't be 2 Xbox games. Yeah. I've
Oh,
also
sorry,
been playing. Well, you asked me a question. So I'm
sorry,
answering the
sorry.
question.
I thought you were done. My
Yeah.
bad.
I mean, I've
Sorry.
also been playing Twisted Metal 3 and 4.
Same.
Three more actually, because I don't know, I like it better. Four is hard as shit, dude.
I was gonna say like so I grew up with 3. I have
Yeah.
4. I got 4 for like the novelty. I have a physical copy of it, but I just got it
Mm,
just to get it. I think I played it one time for like 10 minutes and never touched it again. But going
yeah.
back, and I might be burned at the stake by Twisted Metal fans, but going back, I played 3. I played a good chunk of 3. The controls are hot dog shit, but it's
Yep.
something that you can grow accustomed to. It
Yeah,
definitely
they're
takes some
trash.
getting used to. That's absolute trash, but like you can get used to. You could swim
Yeah.
around in trash if you wiggle your arms and move your legs and shit.
Yeah, yeah, but it's like for me, it's like I've played Twisted Metal 4 a lot before Black came out,
I like
Like I didn't even know Black existed. And I got that game for Christmas when I was like 10 or 11 or some shit. I think it was like 9 or 10 actually, somewhere in there. Black is fantastic. I beat that game like once or twice with a bunch of I got all the characters. But I beat the game legitimately, like no god mode or whatever, like a few times. The game is hard as shit. All Twisted Metal games are hard as shit. They just are. Playing Black and then going back to 4, you like clearly they did some quality of life changes, like they don't the proximity mine isn't a weapon anymore. The remote mine isn't a weapon anymore, but you can place mines down like a special attack like the freeze.
it was like that in 2 also.
Yeah. And you can jump hitting L1 R1 like the buttons you use to switch weapons. You can jump hitting both of those instead of having to hit up left.
Having gone
What the
back
fuck?
and
Having to hit up, left just to
Yep.
jump?
well,
Yep.
it's a car. How do you jump? How do you bunny hop a car?
Yeah.
Bat,
Hydraulics.
rocket boosters underneath like Batman.
Let's go forward, not up. But yeah, going back after they released 3 and 4 on the PlayStation, playing them both back to back. It's not the popular opinion, but after all this time, I gotta say I liked 4 better. I felt like it controlled better. Rob Zombie's in it, which that's pretty cool. They have like remixes of my only major complaint. The music is great. I heard like Rob Zombie tracks, Cypress Hill tracks, like remixes of
Yeah.
stuff from the 90s, 2000s that I really liked. But it's one song per level,
Yep.
and playing it without like God mode or any cheat codes where like I have to really take my time and move around the levels and
Yep.
gather shit, and it takes a long time. And that song will just repeat over and fucking over and over.
hmm
Like,
So you
And, then-
just see your
and it'll tweak specific parts like
uh,
when you're going through because it'll do Dragula and that's one of his most iconic songs. He drives Dragula in the fucking game.
so you listen to Dragula or Living Dead Girl on repeat.
Or
just
Super Beast, I think. Super Beast is an option. I don't know where it is. I've never found it.
that's in I know that's in 3, but in
Yeah.
4, I don't know. There was a Cypress Hill song I'd never heard before that I thought was pretty
Is
cool
it Insane in the Membrane?
that I'd
That's
never heard before.
that is
Oh,
that Cypress Hill?
Yeah,
Oh, okay. I thought it was Beastie Boys for some reason.
I'll cut that part out for your sake.
Oh, I don't care. I'm gonna say that randomly throughout the episode, so I have to cut a bunch of shit.
So talking about AAA games, we had we were researching, we looked up what was the first AAA video game, and Google spat out Final Fantasy VII in 1997, which I could see where they got that conclusion. It's a big budget game, 3 discs. We've beat that game to death talking about it. But then we also looked up like was Super Mario World a AAA game, and Google said yes.
Mhm.
So
I was
so what the
just about
fuck?
to. I was
Hey,
just
Super
about to
Mario World is
say
fucking
that.
great.
Yeah, it is great. But like we typed in what was the first AAA game, and it said Final Fantasy VII. And then we
Yeah,
started looking up like was Super Mario World a AAA game, and the same search engine told us yes. And
Yeah.
these
yeah.
other games on the Super Nintendo, and so I guess we need to kind of define our terms and what
What the
is
fuck?
what.
I would.
No, they're 12 years apart.
Well, I would say to me a AAA game before before anything like Final Fantasy VII, like where they had the technology and the budget to put a lot of detail and story into the game. I would say it would be flagship titles like The Legend of Zelda, Mario, Metroid,
Sonic.
uh, Sonic. To me, back in the day when everything was on cartridge, major titles and mascots would be considered AAA games because it's what made the company money. You knew when they were going to drop a new Mario game that people were going to buy it. Unlike Monday Night Raw, that's not a AAA title game in my opinion. The one from LJN.
Just
Although I
beat your
think
mom on Monday night.
I think it's stuff that they invested a lot of money in, hoping that they're going to get that money back and more.
yeah.
Kind of makes it a AAA. Big marketing campaigns.
Mm-hmm.
Would you guys say that so like when it comes to innovations in technology or what I would call tech demos, I don't know if I would go as far to say that anything on the NES would be considered AAA. I mean, obviously maybe like Zelda and
I'd say it's
stuff,
probably
but
double A at the highest, you know.
yeah, they got so the difference I'm trying to make is so on the NES for like tech demos they had the Black Box series of games, which is like your original Mario Brothers, Golf, Kung Fu, stuff that basically they're fun little games that show off what the hardware is capable of. And
Okay.
then but when you move on to Super Nintendo, things like that would be like Pilot
Uh,
Wings, or more specifically F-Zero. Shows the there's that chip in the Super Nintendo that was like a new piece of technology, and it's really
oh,
utilized in F-Zero. It's the thing that makes it look like you're going so
yeah.
fucking fast.
I know
Um,
what it's called. I can't think of it.
but they so they
It's
use
like
that
something 7
to
or something.
yeah, they made it look like you're going really, really, really fast and dumped as much effort as they could into the graphics and the controls and the handling of the game which might also be why it's not multiplayer. And really, that game is, in my opinion, the best racing game on the Super Nintendo, hands down. It just isn't multiplayer. So, of course, Mario Kart's going to probably sell more because you can play it with your brother or sister. But it really,
The Super Effects chip.
yes, the Super Effects chip, but it really shows off what the system is capable of. And I would say if we're talking about AAA games, I would put F-Zero on that list, but other things like on the NES, like Excite Bike and the other black box games, which are clearly tech demos, I wouldn't
Sure.
really add them on the same, put them in the same category as something like F-Zero, even though the end result, like what they're trying to do, is the same thing. They're showing you this is what this system can do. F-Zero was just leaps and bounds better technologically. So I would say that like F-Zero is a AAA, but the black box series of games is not.
Well, a quick counter argument is that the reason why F-Zero is leaps and bounds better is because it's on the next gen console.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's the same thing with Castlevania and Castlevania 4. The quality of life upgrades in Castlevania 4 is night and day between the two.
Yeah, you can moonwalk
So
up the stairs in 4.
yeah,
Hey.
and also you get eight directional hitbox, and you can actually jump and then move forward. You don't have to be moving forward while you jump. You can jump in place. There's all kinds of
That's
different.
nice.
There's all kinds of different quality of life stuff, but like going back to NES, I would consider Castlevania a AAA title, quote unquote, because I don't know when the term AAA was coined. That's the other part to that too, is like when was the term AAA actually coined and used to describe like a high quality game where the company put what invested a lot of time and effort, knowing that when they put this out, it's going to bring money in for them. To me, because to me that's what a AAA game is something like you said, John. They put a lot of time and effort, and they get reimbursed on their investment.
I think it's PS1 games like Final Fantasy VII, Metal Gear Solid, and then once that definition is established, then you look back at the games that came before it and just start slapping it on shit.
Yeah,
But
That's why I was saying, like, that's why I feel like the NES, the Super Nintendo games that we were talking about are at the highest, probably double A.
that's a fair
And I
statement.
understand that's not how that works. I mean, look at whatever EA tried to do, or was it EA that made that first like quadruple A game?
it's Ubisoft.
Ubisoft, yeah,
Yeah.
them.
I thought
We're
I
just
thought
making
it
up
was
names. It's Skull
Yeah,
and Bones.
exactly. Yeah, yeah. Which is trying to be whatever the other pirate one was that came out that I definitely played.
right
Assassin's Creed.
quite.
No, the Xbox one.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I don't remember the
Yeah,
name.
Sea
Yep.
of Thieves.
Yes.
I thought it was Skull
And
and Bones.
Skull and
yeah,
Bones is the Ubisoft one.
yeah. And I'm saying they were trying to outdo Skull and or the other one, Sea of Thieves. And I
Okay,
liked Sea of Thieves. I had fun. I don't know, my hands are up.
because you're
I had
stretching.
fun. Well,
Huh?
sure, but I just did this for no reason. But fucking they tried to copy Sea of Thieves, and I liked Sea of Thieves. The game was fun. I got over it kind of quickly though. I was playing it with my friend Brandon, but I haven't played it really since then because I don't have an Xbox anymore that I have access to really. Don't don't look right there. That's definitely not an Xbox.
Yes, it is.
Shut up.
It's right next to the Wii.
What
Yeah,
about
PlayStation 5.
system sellers that aren't just going back to Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, and NES. So like obviously Mario World, really, really good, really big game. I guess you could argue that it is a AAA game. But system sellers that like you buy the system and then you have to buy this other game. Something that's not a pack-in title, something like
Um,
Zelda Link's Awakening or well,
so you're
Zelda on just about
asking.
any console.
Yeah. So you're asking about not a game that necessarily came with the console, but something like you got this console, now you have to buy this because everyone's playing it.
Yeah, if I get an NES, I have to have Castlevania.
Sure.
It's not going to come with it though.
So I have one. I'm not sure how you guys will feel about it.
Rad Racer.
Yeah,
I fucking
no.
love Rad
Eraser's
Racer.
the
Rad
it's
Racer's
the
the
So
shit.
what I was gonna
best.
say was Mario Kart.
I think some Super
So
Nintendos came back then with I don't know.
I know that, but you know, Super Mario or Mario Kart 8 wasn't with the Switch. Like, it wasn't. They had bundles, but it wasn't like you had to get the game with the console. You could just buy the console by itself. You didn't have to get it. what I mean by that is like a lot of the racing games I've played, besides F-Zero, I'll say, and like the fucking like realistic ones like Need for Speed. So I guess arcade racers is what I'm talking about. They don't feel like you're going very fast because like it feels like for whatever reason, people like Mario Kart has this monopoly on making things look like they're going fast. They have specifically with Mario Kart because I'll play Mario Kart 8, have fun, 150cc feels like I'm going fast, you know. And then I tried Disney's Speedstorm or whatever because it was free and I could try it out, and it felt like I was crawling. Like I was barely moving at all. I was like, why the fuck is every other racer slow as shit? Yeah, so it's like if I want a good racing game, I feel like I have to buy Mario Kart.
Say F-Zero's better, but
Well, no, that's what I mean.
Well,
Like, I mean,
I
besides F-Zero and the ones that are like fucking Need for Speed, like realistic, you know, why do I have to buy Mario Kart? It just didn't make this doesn't make sense to me.
maybe it's just the programmers. Well, what about Gran Turismo? Have you ever played that?
But that's yeah, that's realistic. That's what I'm saying. Like
Okay.
it's like real cars and like real life. It's like that's not what I'm talking about. You know,
Okay.
like another kart racer. You know, like I know Garfield kart is the thing that exists, but like
Okay.
it's not fast. Like I don't feel like I'm going fast at all. I feel like I'm crawling in comparison to Mario Kart. Why the fuck does Mario Kart have to fucking have a monopoly on things looking like they're going fast?
I don't know if they have the monopoly on it. It's
Well, they don't.
probably
Monopolies are illegal.
maybe not in Japan. We don't know.
That's touche.
But as far as like, I don't, maybe it's just like Nintendo makes a better quality game, and other people try to it. Maybe it's like the Smash Bros. Type of deal where it's
Mm.
you get a bunch of clones of Smash Bros. And none of them will ever be as good as Smash Bros.
Yeah, PlayStation All Stars Battle Royale,
Yeah. Uh.
which I had
ooh,
fun with. But
fun fact about that game. I had a PS Vita and a PS3, and when you got the game physically on PS3, it came with a digital copy for PS Vita. And
nice,
so I got the game from GameStop used, and then got the Vita version, and then returned it at GameStop, and the Vita version still worked.
nice.
So I essentially got the game for free. I made a down payment and
Yeah,
got my money
that's
back
funny.
immediately. Probably why
That's
that
funny.
game didn't work out. Like
Yeah, for
one of the
real.
many reasons that you just get it for free.
Yeah,
but
that's
yeah,
funny.
so maybe it's the same with Mario Kart. Like Mario Kart is just like as far as like those cartoon type of racers,
Yeah,
I would
yeah.
that's how I would describe Mario Kart.
Well, cause see, so I said Garfield kart, and I know there are other kart racers like Disney Speedstorm. Disney's a huge property. You're telling me they don't have enough money to put into better programmers to make their games faster or
They
seem
probably
faster?
do, but they probably
But
don't care.
I don't
That's
think
the
they
other
give a
sure,
thing
shit,
too.
honestly. They're selling the
sure.
license, not the
That the game itself. Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
get that. But at the same time, there's also like Team Sonic Racing. And Sonic is fucking huge. You know, like even the people
that's what
like
she said.
but like what do I want to say here? It's like Mario Kart, you look like you're going fast. Sonic the Hedgehog, they slowed him down by putting him in a car, but it's still not like it still doesn't feel right to me. You know, and it's I don't understand like why that is, why it has to be that way. Like why can't all of us just like all of them just feel like they're going fast? It's like it feels like Mario Kart's the only one, and I don't get why.
I really cannot answer that question honestly because I don't really play racing games like at
Fair,
all.
fair.
The only one I've ever played aside from Mario Kart would be Crash Bandicoot, and
Oh yeah, Crash Team Racing is good. That's another one. But that one actually feels like you're going fast.
yeah, okay, see, yeah, so I don't know, dude. Maybe there's someone out there that can answer those questions for you, but I can't.
I think it's just a personal preference. I think what maybe it's like what you grew up playing and what you're accustomed to, because what feels like going fast to you might be some. I think it's like an objective fact that like something shitty like Disney Kart or Garfield Kart, they're just those are pieces of shit and they suck.
Yeah, no,
But
no. Yeah, but Team Sonic Racing, those are, I mean, Disney is an IP that everybody knows. Garfield's an IP that everybody knows, but they're not, like, Garfield's not a racing character. You know, like, it's not the same thing. Sonic the fucking Hedgehog, it's all about going fast,
Well, maybe he
unless he
goes
has to go
slow
the
in the
speed limit.
car.
why is it a
Uh,
Yeah,
car?
well, I
they
was gonna
slowed him down
say,
by putting him in a car. And that's what I said
yeah, it's
earlier.
because
Like,
he can. I was gonna say maybe he goes slower in the car because he already can outrun cars. on his
Yeah,
feet
nobody would be able to beat him. You pick Sonic and win the game.
every
The whole,
time.
yeah,
So
the game, not just one single race, every game.
so he has to be nerfed by putting him in a car.
Yeah, but then it's like, Knuckles can kind of fly. He can glide.
Yeah,
He had a
but
good running start.
Tails, ta yeah, Tails can fly. Can fly. He's shown flying. He has a plane.
the
Yeah.
only one that can match
It's just
Sonic is
like
Shadow and Metal
barely.
Sonic.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Well, Metal
we're
Sonic was
I
made to be
think
Sonic.
Shadow's faster, but that's a discussion for another time.
I'm gonna pull this
Yeah.
back onto the rails here
Yeah,
and
go
try
ahead.
to pivot. So when let's say I just randomly give you 50, 60, or $70 and say buy a video game, whatever the fuck you want. Hypothetically, put your hand down.
Uh,
It would be digital anyway. Like what the fuck?
I know.
And you have no idea it's ran because I've had it happen around Christmas time. I had a guy who's like, "Hey, here's $60, buy yourself a video game," and I'm just like, "What the fuck?"
Cool.
Does the existence of AAA games affect your decision when it comes to like what you're going to buy next? And also to kind of pivot to have us start to pivot into indie games and what they are. Does their existence like how does the existence of both of those AAA versus indie affect what you're going to buy? If you're just perusing the PlayStation Store or the Switch eShop looking for what's cool and what grabs your attention.
Well, there have been games
Well,
I've played but not owned. And just at friends' houses, or they came over and they owned the game and we played it there, or played it at my house, whatever. So it affects me by my purchasing or whatever by like kind of what I want to play at that time, or like things that I remember, like, oh shit, like this game existed and I forgot about it. Like I got for example, I got Rogue Legacy because it was on sale. And I love roguelike games. They're great. They're a lot of fun. This one's hard as shit, and I haven't been even close to beating the first boss. And you could say that I'm bad at video games, sure, but play it yourself. You'll see
You're bad at
how
video
hard it
games.
is. You're one to talk.
I just
roguelikes are just hard in general.
I know that's kind of the point is that they're hard. Like you die and die and die and just keep improving. This one is a little different because I mean, it's the same thing, but it's like the first time you play through it, you'll get an item called like Charon's Obol or something,
Hmm.
and he stands at the entrance of the castle. And it's like, okay, fine, you have my Obol. This one's free. And then you go through, die again, buy an upgrade if you have enough gold, and then Charon will be standing at the door again, and he'll take all your gold, all of it, not just like a percentage of it. He'll take all of it. So if you're one gold short from buying an upgrade, and you can't buy anything else, he will take all your gold. It doesn't matter. He'll take every single piece of that gold and you will have to start all over from zero.
Motherfucker.
Yeah, and he laughs while he takes your money.
It sounds like Tom from fucking Animal Crossing.
Or what's his name from Spyro? Moneybags.
Yeah.
That's an indie game. I'm pretty sure. Shovel Knight was an indie game. That's not a roguelike, I don't think. So there are days where I would prefer to play a game that I know of already that is an indie game as to buying a AAA game that I don't know about and it looks interesting, so I'll get it and play it.
Um,
Well, an indie game, I believe, is a much smaller team. They
Yeah.
don't have access to the resources of a big company like Ubisoft or EA, Capcom, or
Mhm.
things like that. Some games are made by like one person, or at least they start out by like one person. I know Stardew and
Yep, I was
Minecraft
gonna say.
both in their inception was one guy making Stardew Valley. I think he has more people now working on updates and things like that, but it was one dude, Concerned
Yeah.
Ape.
well, yeah, and also oftentimes indie games, the way they get their funding is from fans.
Yeah.
Like they'll
Yeah.
put up on Kickstarter. I mean, yeah, they'll invest like quite a bit of their own money, but like you said, they don't have the same type of budget or backing of a major studio like Capcom. So they have to reach out and say, "Hey guys, thank you for being a fan. Let me get some money. It's going to be worth it."
Yeah.
So
And see, there's a problem with that.
there is because
And,
you
and
get
I have a very specific game in mind, and I was going to wait for John, but he's back now.
Back now.
okay.
So, there are people that ask, like you said, Kickstarters ask for money, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the time, not, I won't say all the time, or even most of the time, really, but about half the time, the games are good.
Yeah.
Or they add a bunch of shit that become like makes it worth it to do that. You know, like
Hmm.
Bloodstained, like that game is fantastic, and it's Castlevania. If you want to not to play Castlevania, it is for what it
All
is.
intent, all
But
intents and purposes,
yeah,
it is
it's
Castlevania because
Castlevania.
I
It's
mean
made by the guy
this
that made Castlevania,
exactly.
It's
and
the guy who I think he directed Symphony of the Night,
will you
and
shut the fuck up over there?
he wanted to make more Castlevania games, but
Yeah.
Konami was like, "No, you're
The-
making dating sims for the phone."
Oh yeah, yeah.
well, no, this
But
guy made a bunch of Castlevania games, and then they're like, "You're gonna make dating sims." He's like, "I want to make another Castlevania."
yeah,
Like
and
this
that's
guy
great.
is
They added a bunch
known
of cool
for
shit.
Castlevania.
Yeah, they added a bunch of cool shit for Kickstarter bonuses and blah blah blah. And then on the flip side of that coin, you have Shaq Fu, Legend Reborn.
Or you get Mighty Number Nine because
Yeah,
it's
well
like
that one.
this. It's the same idea. Like the dude that
Yeah,
made fucking Mega Man,
yeah,
like use his branding, use his name. He's like, oh, I'm gonna bring you guys a different type of
yeah.
like a Metro, not Metroid,
Mega
uh,
Man game.
Mega Man ish kind of game, and it ends up being hot garbage.
Yeah,
The difference
and
with that is that guy, Kaiji Inafune is his name, and he did not make Mega Man. He was one of the producers on the games, and he did a lot of the artwork. He drew the faces on like Street Fighter, the old Street
nice.
Fighter games. He's legendary in the thing, but when people are like, "Oh my God, this is like the godfather of Mega Man," and he invented this and invented that, no, he didn't. He did work on the games,
Okay.
but
Yeah,
when
he
people saw
didn't
his
make
name
it.
attached
Yeah,
to a project, but like him without everybody behind him, I mean, you played Mighty Number Nine.
yeah. Which I regret. But with
Yeah.
Shaq
Yeah.
Fu, like they promised a bunch of shit that just didn't end up happening, or if it did, it was absolute garbage. I think one of the Kickstarter bonuses was like you get to hang out with Shaq, and that just never fucking happened.
Yeah, good luck with
You
that.
know?
Trying to raise enough money because, like,
No, Shaq was involved in the game,
okay.
in the making of Shaq Fu Legend Reborn, because Shaq Fu is notorious for being hot shit.
Yeah, it's
And
garbage.
that
Why
game
would
is
you want
bad.
that?
That game is trash. Well, he wanted to remake it, and that's fine, make it better, and it does look better than the original.
Yeah, but to say that you're
But
gonna
the
get to
game
hang
is
out with
trash.
Shaq
Yeah,
is
and
gonna.
he said it, like Shaq offered it.
Okay, never mind then. If
Yeah, like
he
Shaq was
offered
like,
it,
yeah,
uh,
he was cool with it, and then he just didn't fucking do it, or he did for like 20 minutes. It was like, what the
I
fuck, dude?
mean, the
Like,
guy is a busy. He is a busy man.
he doesn't have to
Like,
do shit.
He
He's
doesn't.
fucking loaded.
You
He's
know how
loaded.
you know how Shaq is like a DJ now and will like
Yeah,
DJ at raves and stuff? It costs him money to do that. Like he loses money
yeah,
doing that. He just likes
yeah,
doing it. He doesn't
yeah,
have to
and that's
do
fine.
he doesn't
He
have to
can do
do
whatever the
shit.
fuck he wants.
Yeah, like
I'm not telling him he can't go to a fucking Walmart and buy people gifts all day. I don't give a fuck what he does. But if you're gonna offer like hanging out with you, do it for more than 20 minutes or whatever the fuck it was. Like it was not worth it. Like, and it was like one of the upper level Kickstarter like donations that you could do. Like you had to do that shit. Or you didn't have to do that shit. I don't mean it like that, but it's like if you wanted that, you paid this amount of money and it wasn't worth it.
also like once the novelty wears off, once the whole oh my God, that's Shaquille O'Neal wears off, what are you and Shaq gonna do hanging out together?
Yeah,
he
exactly.
can
He's
he
like,
can buy me a nice steak dinner.
He
That's
could
what will happen.
bench press me.
yeah,
If you're
he
into that,
could.
okay. I mean,
We could cosplay Banjo Kazooie. I'll be the bird. I'll get it. I'll hang out in his backpack. Throw off snappy one
I think it's
liners.
funnier if he's the bird.
I want to be the bird.
good
I don't
luck.
care what you want. I just said I think it's
Wearing
funnier.
a backpack that can hold that man.
Yeah, I know.
He'd cripple your back.
Yeah, you would die. You would just die.
I'm simply built different.
Oh, my bad.
Puts one foot in the backpack, John just goes
Folds.
down like a
Yeah, like an accordion.
fucking
It just
yeah. There
crumbles.
you go. Just compresses.
I think that indie games they're not marketed very well. I mean, there are certain Kickstarters where you have something like you attach a name to it, the
Hmm.
Castlevania guy, Kaiji Inufune, Shaquille O'Neal, and those will help a lot in the Kickstarter portion. But a lot of the other stuff is if you're involved in a niche community, like let's say you love fucking roguelikes and you're super, super
Yeah.
into them and your ear is to the ground on any new roguelikes that are gonna come out. If there's a new Kickstarter or something that looks interesting, you're probably gonna hear about it. But
Mhm.
outside of that niche community, I mean, it's not going to be until the game comes out and people play it, whether, people know if it's going to be good or worth playing or not.
Okay, so
Sure.
to answer your question, like if you gave me money to go buy a game, right? I think it all really depends. Like, because I will go on YouTube and I will look at Steam dumpster diving videos, where that's where like one of the people that does this that I like is a guy named Iron Pineapple, and his whole thing is Souls games, and so he'll go and make a
Of
video
course it
about
is.
yeah, but about a bunch of Souls likes that are they're most for the most part indie games. They're unheard of, and he'll test and he'll play the demo of them and give a pretty decent review of them. But that has led me to watching other videos like that, where I've seen like different type of Metroidvanias, side scrollers, 3D platformers, and so I will listen to these reviews, get a good idea of what's out there, and if I'm like on the eShop, depending on like how much I want to spend, I'll probably end up buying indie games because you get more bang for your buck versus dropping $60 just for one game. Now, depending on the game, I will be like, if it's like the remake of Resident Evil 5 came out, then yeah, I won't buy that shit, right? But
Sure.
when it comes to AAA, I am more comfortable buying things that I know, but I'm a little bit more open to buying indie games because they are cheaper and I'm not putting that much at risk.
That's fair.
So I did get I know I say I don't do this very often, but I did get Assassin's Creed Shadows at full price because I thought it looked kind of interesting and I had I don't know, I think it was like my birthday, so I had money for something. But
Right.
I got Assassin's Creed Shadows and I have deleted and reinstalled that game 3 times since I've gotten it. I still have not beaten it, but I'll play it for a while, kind of get tired. It's not terrible. It's not a garbage game by any means, but I will play it a little bit and then I won't play it for a while and I'll delete it and then reinstall it. I've done it 3 times. It is currently not installed on my PlayStation. Now,
Shadows?
it might not be a fair comparison because yeah, Shadows might not be a fair comparison because of the file size, but once I got my PS5 and installed Stardew Valley, it has never come off. It has
Same.
always been on there. Me and Kyle were just playing it for an hour right before we started
Yeah.
recording this. I still play Stardew Valley and all that stuff. Like that will probably never get deleted from because
Yeah.
it's fucking great. The game is infinite. The shit is awesome. It's got online co-op multiplayer. You play it at me. Well, all three of us have a farm together.
Yeah.
And we play it
Yeah.
all the time. Well, Matt hasn't. Matt gets mad because we fuck with his house, but but um,
Which, to be fair, we have not done in a while.
yeah, we haven't done it in a while. No,
That doesn't mean you need to.
he's getting mad.
Like,
Well, I wasn't saying like that.
We were concerned about your mental health.
so real quick, I have OCD about things and you fuck with it.
Yes,
To be fair, I didn't.
you're such a fucking liar.
I didn't know he
Look
had
at him.
OCD.
Oh, well, I mean, can't you tell? Look at him.
No, I mean, sure, but like, it's obvious now that you mention it. But like, I wasn't thinking about it.
If you have OCD, why isn't your face like in order? Why is it?
God damn it, John.
I'm sorry, that was funny.
How do you
That was
line
good.
up them eyebrows? That's sorry.
You're
But
one to
yeah,
talk with your disproportionate head to your body ratio.
I was in a series of accidents.
That does not change the size of your head.
It could.
No, unless that's permanent swelling. Like, nah.
Might be. Might be.
Go to a doctor.
I don't have money to throw away on a doctor. But yeah, the point I was making is yeah, I've deleted and reinstalled Assassin's Creed Shadows 3 times. Still have not
Mhm.
beaten it. But
Yeah.
things like Stardew Valley and my wife and son have asked me to keep Minecraft on my PS5. It's been on there forever. They never fucking play it. But if one day the mood strikes them and they want to play Minecraft, I make it so that it's always available to them and they never fucking play it. But it's there.
Yeah, I got my girlfriend Bloons Tower Defense 6 because she really likes the series. And she's got like ADHD, so there's like hyperfixations and stuff, so she'll play something for a while and just get bored of it or just not want to play it anymore. And one thing I can say, at least recently, is Bloons Tower Defense 6 is fun, but it's just a tower defense game and it gets kind of old really fast. I love the series too, but it's not installed on my console anymore. I got that game specifically to leave on the console, and it's just not on there anymore because she doesn't play it. I talked to her about it, but she said it was fine, and she consistently plays Stardew Valley. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's great. You know, we were playing it before you and I played it, and she said I ditched her for you.
You did.
No, I didn't.
You did.
No,
No.
I wanted to play with you, and then you were like, I'm doing bullshit with my fucking Nintendo, and
It
then I
was.
was playing Twisted Metal, and you got online.
Let's see.
You know,
My
you were
pin
the one that
connector.
said you wanted to play. You were the one that said you wanted to play Stardew.
That's just because I had to wait for the pin connector to dry. I don't have like compressed air or
Yeah,
something to dry it
I do.
off.
I got a couple cans you can have.
Well, it's dry now. I don't need it anymore.
Have you tried not being dumb?
Sometimes.
Have you tried putting it in the microwave? Like,
It's got
Yeah,
metal.
that'll dry it off real fast.
It'll dry
use
up
the
your whole
oven.
house.
Use the oven, man.
I
Open the
mean,
oven
sure, yeah.
door.
Well, it doesn't have plastic pieces too, or is it just metal?
It's got
Yes,
plastic.
it got
Yeah, so
plastic.
it might melt in the oven.
Well, you open the oven door, face the connectors towards the heat, and just put on like a super low heat. But you gotta be careful of the carbon monoxide releases from the oven.
Nah.
That's not real. You made that up. Okay. Matt, did you add what was the first indie game to the
I
notes here?
did.
What is the first indie game?
I don't know. One of us should Google
Oh,
So
I
we'll
looked
just
it up.
What is
I
it?
looked it up.
What is it?
Oh.
Let me look. Hold on.
I was like, I'm just gonna cut this section.
Okay, so the first indie game is generally considered to be Space War! Exclamation mark.
That's like the
Created by
first
Steve
game.
Russell and a group of students at MIT in 1962. It was a space combat simulation game developed for the PDP-1 computer, whatever the fuck that is. While the term
Oh,
indie game wasn't widely used at the time, Space War fits the definition.
Yeah, I could see that
Space
because
War
it's the
is
first game
Yeah.
like ever.
it is. Well, actually, like the first game ever technically was when remember when we tried to do the history and sound of video games, and it was like a little Pong simulator
Something like that, yeah.
on like a I forgot what they call it, but it's like a radar scope, and some guy that made helped make the atom bomb.
So let's see. The earliest video games were largely experimental and research focused, blah blah blah.
Yeah,
There's Tennis for Two, which was the
that's
first.
the one.
Yeah. And then there was
It was like a
OXO, which is just tic-tac-toe, and then Space War.
right. So
And then there was like once video games took off, there was Pong and Magnavox and the Magnavox Odyssey console in the early 70s. With a game
Um,
just called Computer Space stuff.
so when it comes to the last question on our notes there, what are you most likely to play, indie or AAA? I think it comes down to a number of factors for me. AAA games, I think as I've gotten older and become more jaded, returning franchises like Matt mentioned, if the Resident Evil 5 remake ever came out, like, yes, of course, I would play that. I would want to get that. There's I think Silent Hill 2 did good, so there's rumors of there's a Silent Hill F that's coming out. I want that. And I've heard that they might be remaking the original Silent Hill, and I definitely want that. Those are
Yeah.
AAA games that I'm actually looking forward to. The Metal Gear Solid 3 remake, mentioned a million times, still hasn't fucking come out yet, Konami. But
Meh.
but
hey,
I
they're like
really want that. But really, I just look for like, is the game fun? I'm more likely to spend less money than more money, unless it's
Sure.
a returning franchise that I am really confident is going to be good, like Silent Hill, Metal Gear, Resident Evil, things
Yeah.
like that. But honestly, probability wise, I'd be more likely to purchase an indie game over a AAA game because they're cheaper, and if it sucks, it hurts less because
That's fair.
you didn't spend $60, $70 on something that sucks ass. You only
That's
spent like
fair.
15 to $20.
Yeah. I mean, I got, Sniper Elite 5 when it was on sale. I got the Ultimate Edition or whatever the fuck it's called for cheaper than the base. Yeah, so that one didn't hurt as bad when we stopped playing it.
Well, we
I
beat
would
it.
like to, sure, but you don't have the DLC missions,
That's true.
and I want to shoot Hitler in the ball.
Yeah,
And it's because it's funny. It's
you can do
hilarious.
that in
it's
four.
you do that in all of them.
You can do it in all of them. Like that's not the point.
There's a Hitler mission in all of them.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, there is. And this one, it was cool. I started it, but I uninstalled the game or whatever.
I
I
like to blow his nuts off and play around with his body.
You mean nut off?
Does Hitler only have one testicle?
Yeah, he only has the one testicle.
How did that happen?
I don't know. Ask him.
Because he's an
Maybe
artist.
that's why he got so angry.
No, he got angry because he was bad at art.
Maybe it's a combination of the two.
Yeah.
He's like, I suck at art and only have one testy.
Yeah.
Someone's gonna have to pay for this.
I don't remember how it happened, but yeah, he only has the one ball, and
But is
Probably
that
all that met.
reflected? Is that reflected in Sniper Elite?
I think so.
Oh no, we're gonna have to shoot Hitler in the balls
Yeah, we're
now.
gonna have to shoot
Yeah.
Hitler in the
Yeah.
nuts.
Well, reinstall Sniper Elite 5. And then get the DLC mission.
As far as which one I'm more likely to play, though, it honestly all depends. Like, unlike John, when
And
it comes to like
again,
AAA games, like where he is more jaded, I'm kind of a little bit more open.
You play
I,
3 game types, and 2 of them are the same.
I've been hurt so many times.
but what I mean is, like, if it's within the same realm of what I'm used to, like if it's like a tactical type of like a stealth game, like Metal Gear, but it's or Splinter Cell or something like that, I'm willing to give it a try. You know,
Okay, yeah, that's fair. Splinter, dude, the
that
new Splinter Cell, I would buy immediately.
Uh, so it doesn't have to be like a reoccurring franchise because I think that's the kind of like an obvious answer for anybody who plays video games. If it's a franchise that they really love, and they're obviously going to buy the new one that comes out. So I kind of like to broaden my horizons a little bit, and I do still kind of stay in my comfort zone as far as like purchasing something I am unaware of, as far as like a AAA type of game.
Okay.
But if it's like within the same realm of what I'm familiar with, then yes, I will. I'm like, okay, you know what? Let's give it a try. And if it sucks, yeah, it hurts because I spent $60 on it, 70, whatever the case may be. And but when it comes to like brand new stuff, like I have no idea. I'm not familiar with the franchise, or I'm not familiar with that type of game or anything like that. I do as much research as I can, and I try to look up as many reviews as I can before buying the game and see what people have to say. If it's mixed reviews, if it's like 50-50, I will sit down. I'll be willing to give it a chance just because it's 50-50. And the only way if I know I'm going to like it is if I actually experience it myself.
That's fair.
But if 90% of everybody talks about it and they all give the same conclusion that it sucks, I'm probably not going to buy it.
That's fair.
Indie games, I am more than willing to just be like, you know what, fuck it, let's give it a try because of like how much cheaper they
Yeah, that's
are.
fair.
And I think indie games is a great way to like discover new game types.
Earlier, I gave an example of indie games that were bad.
Right.
I can think of one right now, just off the top of my head, of a AAA game that was bad. I spent way too much money on it. Duke Nukem
Duke Nukem
Forever.
Forever. Yeah.
Yeah, the
Days
game was
without Duke
bad.
Nukem. It's back to
The
zero.
game was fucking bad, man. It's it, but it's like I took a huge risk and it didn't pay off. So it's like I'm in the same boat as John a little bit. Like I've been fucking hurt
Burned.
too many times. So it's like there are times when I would rather play, God of War when it's as opposed to the indie game God of War, which doesn't exist. I'm just being weird. Like I would rather play God of War. And I think your brother, James, real James, not fake James, sent me a humble bundle with the Devil May Cry's.
Hmm.
And I said, like if Devil May Cry even touches my computer, like I'm like I would kill you.
Why?
No, DMC, not Devil May Cry, but
That game's good.
DMC. I
Skip
know it is,
everything.
and he said the same thing. He was like, as much as you don't like it, it's still canon. I was like, great, that's
It's
fine.
not.
It's not.
That's what he said. I'm
He's
not. I don't
wrong.
care. I don't give
James,
a
you're
shit. I
wrong.
I don't fucking care if he's wrong or not. Like that's not my
I
point.
care.
I played
Okay.
DMC. I didn't have a terrible time with it. I thought the joke in the beginning where he has like the white wig on his head, he's just like, no, no, no way. That was funny. But it's like that. That's pretty much just like I got to a certain point and I just stopped playing the game. But I'm not the biggest fan of the Devil May Cry series. I like the story, but I don't want to sit down and play through it. I can just watch people play it and get the same enjoyment I would because I like the story. It's cool. But for like AAA games, I'm very cautious with them now, as opposed to when I was not paying for them myself. I would just play fucking anything and everything. I didn't care. And hey, that has fucking Godzilla on it. I'll play that. Like I did or King Kong, whatever. Like I didn't care. And there was that Godzilla Destroy All Monsters Melee, the fighting game.
The
And that game
GameCube
was
one?
fucking yeah, that game was fucking cool.
Yeah, I played that.
Yeah, that game was fucking cool. So like there are times where like for me it's 50-50. Like I will do research about a game that's coming out that I want, but if it's like Indiana Jones, like I like Indiana Jones, I like the whole story except for Crystal Skull. We don't talk about that one. And so when the Great Circle was announced, like I wanted that game. And I got it on Game Pass, but the laptop I currently have gets way too hot, way too fast. It doesn't overheat, but it's hot to the touch. And so I can't play games that I want to play for long on that. And it wasn't out on the PS5 at the time. It is now, I think. But I don't want to get it on my PlayStation, if that makes sense. Like I already technically own it on my laptop that's like right here. But
Yeah,
Transfer the
I
data to your PS5 if you can.
can't.
you can't do that. That's not a thing. You made that up? Anyway. Hey, I'm
You
getting
could take an external hard drive. I don't know.
yeah, but it's not a save file from a PS5 game that you're
Yeah.
transferring
And I
over.
wouldn't I wouldn't be able to access it anyway. It's from Xbox Game Pass.
Well, I was gonna say you can do that shit with Xbox. If you have
Yeah.
something on your PC, you can transfer it to your Xbox.
Yeah.
So I'm getting a lot of severe weather warnings and there's
Okay.
lightning nearby and I'm getting like I can hear thunder outside. So I
Stop
believe
being a
Matt
bitch.
well, I mean this could just cut at any second. Like
Yeah.
so
All
I think
right,
Matt
fine.
has Kyle gave Matt homework and I think Matt actually did his homework.
Did he now?
I
Yeah.
didn't do it. Wasn't homework. I was challenged.
Did you do
Yeah.
it at home?
No,
He did it
Are
at
you
work.
fucking lying?
no, I'm not. I actually did all that work.
It's
So
work.
instead of doing his job,
No,
he was fucking
I mean,
doing his work from
I
Is
had
that
a
why
little bit.
I don't.
I had a little bit of downtime, so I was like, let me bang this out real quick.
Okay. So this was what, a top 10 list without naming fucking Soulsborne games or Skyrim? Is that what it was?
Oh, and Gundam.
Okay. And
So
Gundam.
Number
the
10, Final
Just so you
Fantasy
just no
7.
no no hold on. Just so you know, I'm counting fucking Armored Core as a Soulsborne game.
but it's not a
It
Soulsborne game.
is.
No, it's not.
Armored Core 6, absolutely it is.
No, it's
Dude,
not.
I gave you the fucking list.
I know you
This is
did,
my
but don't
fucking
worry, Armor Core is not on here either.
wow, I'm surprised actually. Continue. Please go.
Okay, I put it as 10 RPGs are better than Final Fantasy VII.
That was not the assignment.
Yeah, that was not the assignment. This is
Yes,
just a
it
top
was.
10. That
I
was
was
a top
so
10
proud of
list
you.
that did
I was
not
so
name
proud of you.
those three things.
So these are my top 10 RPGs that are better than Final Fantasy VII without those three games types on it. First one
Not
being
what he asked.
Cyber. Shut the fuck up. This is my list.
It's Kyle's list, and you did it wrong.
Well,
Yeah, you did, dude.
either way, I have completed the challenge. We got
Oh, you did?
Cyberpunk 20 in no particular order. Cyberpunk
This is a top
2077.
10 list. These are top 10 in no particular order.
No, I said an RPG is better than Final Fantasy VII. All right, and I did not. There's no Souls games, no Armor Core, no Gundam.
Matt owes me a top 10 list that doesn't list a Soulsborne, and in parentheses, I wrote Elden Ring, Armored Core, etc., or Elder Scrolls. That was the assignment.
Okay, I modified it. I still completed it. Okay.
And also, you're comparing apples to oranges when you talk about RPGs better than Final Fantasy VII. And then you list
Yeah.
Cyberpunk. That's a completely different type of game.
Yeah, that is not
It is an RPG though. It's a first person
every
RPG.
game. Okay, every game is an RPG. Call of Duty is an RPG.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. You play a character. You are playing a role in the game.
The
You play a
victim.
character.
There's
Yeah,
other
exactly.
elements in an RPG.
There's other elements in Cyberpunk.
And I'd say that's an action RPG as opposed to a
Sure.
turn-based. Matt, you have
I didn't
completely
say
ruined this.
Just let me get through the list. You're
Okay,
bitching about
fine,
weather
go.
warning.
Okay.
Okay. We got Cyberpunk 2077, Dragon Quest 11, Jade Empire, Star Ocean: The Second Story.
I'm just
That's
gonna
a
blast through these.
yes, we are. The Legend of Dragoon, Breath of Fire 3, Fallout New Vegas. It doesn't count. It's Fallout. Ha!
It is
Mass
an Elder
Effect.
Scrolls.
No, it's not.
It fucking is.
No, it's not. It's
They're both made by Bethesda.
It's the same style of game.
Obsidian made Fallout New Vegas. So ha,
Published by
loophole.
Bethesda.
Anyways, did I say Mass Effect? Then we got South Park, Stick of Truth, and Fable.
You failed.
Absolute just
Breath of Fire 3 over Golden Sun? Come on, man.
Well, I never played Golden Sun, so
Get the fuck
yes.
out of here, dude. Like,
I played Breath of Fire like plenty
it
of
comes
times.
free with your fucking Xbox. No,
I don't have an
It's
Xbox.
it's on the Switch. Like you can play it through the GBA fucking thing.
yeah, it is on there. But Matt needs the subscription.
That and the second one. I'm just throwing it out there.
Okay,
Put him
so
as part of your fucking family thing, John.
I don't even know how to do that. But
Anyways, I successfully gave a list.
no,
You gave
gave
the
a
wrong
list.
You gave a list that is
I
not
gave
what
a
I
list
asked
that
for.
did
That is
not.
not what I asked for.
Okay, fine. I will. We'll revisit this, and I will come up with 10 games
No,
that
top 10 list. That means I want them ordered.
you
And they
want them
can't
ordered.
and they cannot be Soulsborne or Elder Scrolls. And Armored Core, I wrote it in there. It counts. It's made
Okay.
by FromSoft.
And these
So
are
no
top 10
mech
games of all
games.
time.
Now,
Yeah.
because then
I
I'm
mean,
gonna bring
technically,
up.
I didn't write Gundam down, so you could have just put 10 Gundam games.
That is true.
But now
Not
I'm
even
writing it
like
down.
Tetris, Tetris 99,
Yeah.
Tetris 2.
I mean, I could just put Devil May Cry 1 through 5.
Yeah, you could.
Doom.
That's half the list right there.
Doom 2. Ultimate Doom.
Doom
And then I could use
64.
the Doom franchise as well. Holy shit.
Man.
It was actually impressive the level of like how bad you fucked that up. I did not see that
But
coming.
you had the instructions on the Google Doc.
I did not pay attention to the
Like they were
instructions. I
right
made
fucking
my
there.
own.
And that's fine. It was a fun list, but like, it's whatever.
and more importantly, I did not mention any Souls games or mech games
That's fair.
and or Elder Scrolls.
That's
And
fair.
I still personally prefer Final Fantasy VII over a lot of those games you mentioned. I
Yeah.
started
Because you're a fat bitch.
6 is fucking weird, man.
yeah, 6 is weird.
So I got to the part I was gonna say point, but I got to the part where the group like splits for the first time, and the walkthrough I was following because
Good luck finding them all.
yeah, fuck you. I don't give a shit about walkthroughs in a 30-year-old game. However
Yeah,
the fuck
fucking
old Final
used to
Fantasy
walk
6 is.
through, like,
I'm using
Google
a
that
walkthrough.
shit.
But my point being, like the walkthrough I was following was like you should do them in this order, but I didn't see that, so I went with like the last one that you're supposed to do technically, like in this walkthrough. And it's like, 'cause it's like, hey, if you have all this shit, put it on this guy when you get him. I was like, I don't have any of this fucking shit. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I was like, oh, you should do this one first. I'm like, motherfucker, like,
It doesn't
why?
really matter.
No, it doesn't. I beat that one, no
Yeah.
problem. But like, why? Like, what the fuck, dude? Like, I spent an
Some
hour
people are
grinding for Mithril Claws or whatever, however long I was talking to you the
well.
other day, John. But it's
I
like,
think
Yeah.
some people just play the game a certain way, so they incorporate that into the walkthrough.
sure, and that's fine. That makes sense. But it's like at the same time, like if you do one of them first, you get a bunch of shit for the other ones and that you can use in the other ones. And it was like, oh, by the way, after you like do all this, like take all this stuff off your guy before you get to this point, because he's gonna leave your party and take all that shit with him.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then it happened because like I had already gotten into the cutscene by the time I read the fucking page.
Oh.
And I was like, motherfucker, dude, like I'm not going back. I'm not going back and doing all this shit over again. Like I don't care. And then I beat the thing anyway. But I was so fucking lost. I have no idea what the fuck anything is. I don't know where the fuck anything is.
Yeah, can you
What the
imagine
fuck is
doing
this
that
town on the
shit?
map called?
Yeah, can you imagine doing that shit without a walkthrough or
Yeah.
the availability to look up YouTube or
Oh, I
anything like
know.
that?
No, see, I read the shit instead of like listening to some dude. Hey guys, what's up? This is another walkthrough
You skipped
video.
that part.
Yeah, no, I don't want to. I don't want to deal with it at all.
I'm at a part in the game. I'll keep it as spoiler free as possible. Basically, like it's not the party splits up into like 2 or 3 groups. The entire party splits up and goes across the entire map. and you start with one, and then you get other people, and you go around the entire. You have an airship, which not really a spoiler. Every Final
Yeah,
Fantasy,
you get one in
um,
every other.
you go around the entire world and
Mhm.
like find each character again. And the thing that's really frustrating me with it is that I've had to look up a walkthrough for every single step of the way for
Yep.
that, and it's driving me fucking nuts. And it's like I find one person and it's like, okay, cool. So we go in and they have a quest attached to getting this person back, and you knock that quest out. They're like, all right, what's this fuck is rejoin your party. And then it's just nothing. And it's like,
Yeah.
what do I do next? Fuck you, figure it out. Instead of like, oh, you go to the next town, the entire world is open. You're supposed to just guess where you're supposed to
Yeah.
go. And then I look it up and it tells you like, okay, go to this town. And I'm like, oh, okay. The map's not labeled
No.
at all. So like it says, okay, go to this town. I'm like, oh, okay. So then I have to type in Final Fantasy 6, name of that town, location, and then I have to find it on the map, and then I have to Google two fucking things and find that fucking map. And then I started playing. So like I finished 9. The map's labeled on 9,
Yeah.
at least in the Switch
I think it
version.
is on 7.
I got the I don't know if it is,
I
but
may
either
be
way,
It
guessing.
is.
I got the Pixel remaster for 4, and I
Yeah.
started playing that. The map's labeled. Like,
Why couldn't they do that for
like-
6? I mean, it's probably like not Resident Evil, but Final Fantasy 6 is part of the reason why I only beat it once is because that whole part where the party breaks up and you have to search them through the world. I did this when I was a teenager, and my method was smoke a lot of pot and just zone out.
Fair
I could
enough.
see that. I could see that. You know, I could see that making sense.
My
But
boy,
I
and
don't.
just fucking travel around, just randomly do a bunch of shit and hope I find people. But I am not willing to torture myself like that again.
The map is
Mm.
labeled in FF7.
And then I got to a part where like it was like it told me to go to this place with like this tower, and I start going up the tower, and for some reason like physical attacks don't work, and you can only use magic, and not everybody in my party has like magical abilities associated with them like that. So I just saved it and turned it off. I was like, that's it. That's
That's
fucking.
fucking dumb.
I'll go back and eventually finish the game. I know I'm like more than 50 or 75% done with the whole game. I'm
Oh
really fucking
damn.
far in it, but it's just like I know exactly where you are. I'm way past that.
Well, I finished the first one I did that had fucking not Locke, the other guy that you get that's like the brother of so like Sabin, I think it
Yeah,
is.
Saban and Edgar.
Yeah, so I was doing theirs, and then I'm doing a Locke's now, I think, because he's by himself. I was like, fuck that, I don't have to worry about anybody but him, fuck you. And then I stopped playing and I haven't gone back to it.
Yeah, but anyway, that's this episode of the Gameacologists. A lot
What's
of
a
fucking
mycologist?
tangents. A lot of Gameacologist. The video game sons of bitches. I think that's a better name for our show.
Rude.
The video game sons of bitches.
Called my mom
Anyway,
a bitch, dude.
well, I wasn't parentally specific there. Like, you chose to take it that way.
Uh,
But anyway, thank you all for listening. If you somehow managed to get through this fucking dumpster fire, um, be
We
excellent to
thank
each
yeah,
you.
we
other.
respect you.
We respect you. Anyway, say bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Goodbye, everybody.